they just cut. This should have been a whole hour episode because they just stopped it like on
I
a
can't I
dime.
can't track. It was between 2 years ago and present day, and I just can't track. So all I can take from it is 2 years ago in the frame of the timeline, Zeke. Well, we finally found out what Zeke did with the ODM gear, which
Yep.
I was like, okay, he didn't even bring that back to Marley. So what happened? So we know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the biggest revelation is outside of Historia being pregnant is the fact that we now know Mikasa is basically royalty.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the big question for me is what made Eren change his mind? Because Eren was very much so opposed to Zeke's idea, and then all of a sudden he changed and went along with it. So what happened? What made that change? That's the only question that I have, really.
All right, here's the trailer for.
Yeah.
What?
行くあても手がかりもない二人に手を差し伸べたのは
お
彼らが憎むべき悪意だった。次回
Oh my goodness. Them crazy kids.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, fam. Yeah, there should have been a few more minutes on the clock for this episode.
There should have been more. There should have been some more time on that on that preview. Like, I got nothing out of that.
So, I guess I got to start this with asking a huge question. Because maybe I didn't read it right. What was Zeke's plan with Historia? Why get her pregnant? Why does she have to lay with somebody? I don't understand that part. Did either one of you guys get it? Because I didn't get it.
I mean, the impression I didn't really get it. I thought, but the only impression I assumed from it was, his plan in order to get peace was to have, I guess, control of the Titans, and in order for that to do so, in order for that to be the case, they have to go down the royal bloodline.
Okay.
In order, but then there's also the whole curse of King Fritz that plays in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it sounds like he was trying to restore that and keep that. That's the impression I got, that he was trying to use something in order to bring peace for everybody. But as soon as that happened, you get the whole curse of King Fritz, and then everything's peaceful, from that point out. But
yeah,
I'm still not really formulating his plan. I think he's just trying to free his people. But his other contingency about mating and having kids and keeping the bloodline and all that stuff, that just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
like
so
I said,
it seems like if it's going off of that, and he's trying to keep the Fritz bloodline still going outside of him once he dies. Because once he dies, the only person that'll still be able to control the Founding Titan the way that it should would be Fritz blood. Or at least be connected to the Founding Titan in some way, shape, or form. And so it would make sense, I guess, to have more family members that could be able to touch the Founding Titan to be able to do what it needs to do down the line, so that, say if his two siblings, they have twins, then later on down the line, they inherit the Founding Titan and the Beast Titan or whatever.
But how does that work? Because by having more people on the bloodline, if someone gets the Founding Titan, they automatically get Fritz's curse of peace. So how does that even work? The whole purpose of this thing is that Eren has the Founding Titan, can't really use it without royal blood, but he also is not bound by that curse.
He's not held back.
That's the thing. So I don't. That's the part I'm confused about with Zeke's plan. I don't see how that works.
Yeah, it would have made more sense to me that all we need to be was Zeke and Eren connecting or touching, and Eren could do whatever he wanted to do. I really don't understand, unless Zeke feels like he just doesn't have enough time on the clock to do what the rumbling is going to require them to do, which that would make sense why they would just, have Historia, be a Titan and end up inheriting the beast Titan. But this is the thing. So I got a theory. I don't think it's just some random Joe that knocked up Hysteria. I feel like a lot of Eren's motivations, yes, comes from a lot of hardness and stuff like that. But I feel like, say hypothetically speaking, that is his child, right? And like he knows what this child is going to be destined to have to deal with. And he's like, no, I'm going to take matters in my own hands. I mean, yes, I said to you guys, 2 years ago, that you're the most important people to me right here now. As soon as you have a child, that changes everything. That changes your whole motivations for even living. And so I don't know. It just doesn't add up. Her just be randomly pregnant by some random Joe. That don't line up to me.
Yeah. So, I don't think that's some random person. I'll just say that for sure. I don't think it's that.
So are we saying that Eren? First off, are we saying that Eren knocked up Historia? And I guess although he said those folks weren't important to him, as soon as he found out she was pregnant, he's probably trying to get this rumbling started so his child can have a life where she doesn't have to worry about being oppressed. She doesn't have to worry about being eaten by Titans. Just get rid of it all and she can live out a life.
Yeah.
It's a sound theory. It's a sound theory. But if that happens, they're going to try to oppose him. You know that, right?
Yeah. So this goes back to what I said from the beginning, is that what if Eren is, by circumstance, the villain of the story? Because honestly, from a calculated move, she can't just be a Titan. They already said it. They already established, like, man, we can't even just make her a Titan and have her eat your dude because she's pregnant. And that may have been by design. Like, I'm not saying that, Eren's like, look, I gotta knock you out real quick so you don't get this beast Titan. But I mean, I wouldn't put it past this man at this point, unfortunately.
Right. I don't. But here's the thing: I'm not really sure if he is the villain or even if there is a villain. Look at it like this. Look at it. I think
it's highly possible.
I mean, no, I'm not saying it's not possible, but I mean, think of it like this. Yes, Thanos did an extreme thing, but when you heard his justification for it, it kind of made some sense.
He's still a villain, though. At the end of the day,
here's the thing. He's you could say he's a villain, but I would say he's more of an eco-terrorist. Yeah, I guess you could still say that's a villain, but the thing is, he's an eco. I'm gonna say eco-terrorist because that's the best thing I can think of right now. But he is. But the thing is, his plan, what he wanted to do was just crazy. But the justification behind why he wanted to do it made sense.
Yeah, but
so hold on. In the aspect of Eren, and I'm not taking away the villain, Eren being the villain, away from you. I just see it as Eren is going about this a different way than Zeke. So Zeke knows that the rumbling is required. I think Zeke's necessity of the rumbling is in a lower extreme than Eren. And I think at some point Eren's going to change, and Eren is like, look, we're just gonna wash the whole thing like Thanos. And that makes it crazy. But his justification, if Historia is carrying his child and he wants that child to have a free life with all that other stuff, his justification makes sense. How he wants to do it, though, is just off the wall crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say there is a villain. I'd say he is an enemy. I just want to say he's a villain, though.
I would say he's an That's enemy. Your boy. I mean, you've been following since episode 1. I get it. It's your boy.
Here's the thing. I don't think he's definitely not going to. I don't think he's going to be the hero at the end of the story. I actually have a thought of who that's going to be, but I'm not going to say that right now. But I think he is someone who is vital to the paradigm shift. It's kind of like the theory. It's kind of like the global theory. If we get the world, if we had an existential threat, or let's say extraterrestrial threat to the planet, you see how fast the world comes together to face that common enemy. And I think that's what Eren's purpose is going to be that threat or that enemy that brings everyone together, and in that process obliterates the whole concept of people warring against each other.
Wait, like on some Watchmen shit, like Ozymandias type shit? That's what you're saying?
To a certain extent, yeah.
Because hilariously, Ozymandias is one that I mean,
wait, are we talking comic or are we talking comic or are we talking movie?
Both. I mean, they have been both, but I mean, comic, definitely comic.
Okay.
We ain't talking Zack Snyder. I'm not. At
yeah.
least. But no.
Okay. But yeah,
Ozymandias is technically, Ozymandias is like a. I mean, it's like a villainous character, though. That's kind of what you're describing.
He's right.
Because Ozymandias, he did that for the the betterment, doing this shocking act of violence, for the for the greater good. But unfortunately, you were still a villain, though, unless I missed something.
Yeah,
Walter White is still a villain, unless I missed the memo.
Walter White's a criminal. Walter White's a straight up criminal. He's a straight up meth criminal. I understand his justification, though. Yes, but he basically took a drug substance and made a whole thing out of it with it. He's a criminal.
I mean, Heisenberg's pretty villainous to me, my nigga. Goodness be. I don't know how fresh
he's a beast.
I don't know how fresh the series finale is in your mind of Breaking Bad, but like, that nigga ain't no hero.
Oh yeah, no, he wasn't no joke. I think if I had to put a level of villain on it, for me, it would be like a Kaiser. Like Kaiser Sose is my depiction of a villain, really.
Okay.
Because it's just done to be done. You know.
I mean, I think that even as much as my theory goes, everywhere, which again, I haven't read the manga, so I don't really know. I just know that a lot of tyrants over the years have had, justifiable understandings why they did this genocidal craziness and why they oppressed, millions or thousands of people, or why they had so much hatred and arc in their heart. But they still did it. And at that moment, it's kind of like you're no longer somebody that it's not. It goes past redemption. Like it's like you're not even the active person trying to incite good. Like you're doing it by your own justifiable means. As soon as you do it by your own means, it goes and crosses a line. And I think that at this point, it sucks because the way that these past 2 episodes have gone, I haven't liked them because I still can't pinpoint at what point in time where it's 2 years, a year. Like you can mean all these things. Really it's the anime, bro. Like you can change somebody's hair on the spot of a dime. When Eren said that has hair back, I don't know what the ninja look like. He cut his beard a little bit, But I mean, as far as the meat and potatoes of the story, the writing is still there. It's just right now so hyper confusing. And the verbiage is going so fast that we're missing things. Like somebody told me that the last episode that I missed like something really big. And I had no idea what they're talking about. And then I really looked at the episode. I was like, oh, wow, I really did miss this. In this episode specifically, though,
I'm sure there are things we missed in this episode.
I think that when they were going and working the fields or whatever they were trying to do, and they went back into present day that your girl Historia is pregnant, and they started talking about like a story of whatever. Like I kind of was like, I feel like somebody from the group definitely did that. I just really feel like, and Eren's the only person that kind of comes to mind. It's just weird that on this same episode, like Historia and Mikasa have this moment of revelation that Mikasa is royalty. Like they both technically are. And I don't know what this means, bro. Like I really don't, because now you got 2 different bloodlines with 2 different traits. Technically, Levi's bloodline counters the Fritz's bloodline. They can go and not be, influenced in any way, shape, or form. And technically, Levi's bloodline would make more sense I would put Mikasa. I'm sorry, not Mikasa. I'd put Levi with Historia to come out with the resolve for all of this more than anybody else, because their bloodlines technically would, it would cope with the whole situation.
So you think a child of Levi and Historia would counteract the King Fritz curse?
I definitely would, because
I mean that's a 50-50 shot though, bro.
But I'm saying that if Levi, who just random shot dude, ends up being, groomed and sharpened by Kenny, and then Mikasa, who's barely the last of her bloodline, and they could be able to not be controlled like that and have their own specific kind of trait. I don't think that I know it's a 50-50, but I'm saying that everying in the show has always been
it's been a 50-50 shot.
Yeah, this show has been outsmarting me from the get, so I definitely don't have a list of theories. That's for sure.
Yeah, but as far as the episode, I like this episode more than I like the last episode, which is weird. I think because the revelations hit a little bit more to home, and there was some really good conversational dialogue. That conversation that Hanji had with Eren was that jump was crazy. I don't know about y'all, but I was kind of like, yo, he threatened to just kill everybody right there and then. He's like, you can't kill me. You can't stop me. You can't stop your boy Zeke. So what do you think you really can do? And I was kind of like, what was his point of doing that?
Him dealing with Hanji, she's always had the upper hand in something, especially when she does like her interrogations and all that. We've seen that. But this is something where he's reminding her, hey, just so you know, I have the ability to get out of here. In fact, I have the ability to get out of here, and you can even fight what I create and not even know I'm not there. Like, and you can't kill me because I have the founding titan. You can't kill Zeke because he's royalty and he has this plan. So what really do you have? Like, don't get it twisted, chick. I'm not those two titans that you were that you were fawning over, back in like season 1 or whatever. Like, I will end you and have no problem with it. That's kind of what he was saying, and she had to get out of there because she realized all them tactics and stuff she did wasn't working, which is why she made that comment about Irvin.
Yeah, it's just funny because her counter was like you such a pervert, and he was like, he was like sweet talking her, but really she was kind of like caught off guard by that. And then I think the other thing was just really the revelation about Mikasa. I just feel like they wouldn't bring that up if it didn't mean something. Like, you wouldn't sit there and say, all right, Mikasa is part of royalty in her own right, if the whole part of this is the bloodlines. You know what I'm saying? So that intrigues me more than anything in this episode. But I don't know. What did y'all think about this episode? We can close out.
I'm intrigued that they didn't just take today's episode and the last episode and just fuse them together. It's intriguing to me. I think if I had to give like a biggest takeaway, it's like I feel like that should have happened. Yeah, I'm not saying it's detrimental, but like I think that just would have been a smarter game of chess. But then again, at the same token, it especially feels like they're playing an advanced game of chess that I can't exactly tell what they're doing with the moves. And this all must be very, very, very intentional. So, hopefully. But that is surprising they didn't do that.
Yeah. Ty, what's your closing?
This episode was trash. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm just kidding. It's good. I like this episode. I just don't think I liked it as much as the others. Even the last episode seemed to have a little more going for it. I think the hardest thing for me was they were trying to give us some quick revelations in there, like Mikasa, his story being pregnant, how Eren addressed Hanji and all that. But at the same time, they kept bouncing through the timelines. And I think the problem I have is you started it off with 2 years ago. So you're putting us at a specific point, giving us no reference point of when you're back in the current time, with the exception of Eren, being in the jail, looking at himself in the mirror, which we remember from the last episode. I didn't really have a point of reference for what was 2 years ago and what was current outside of that moment. So it's like, was everything else 2 years ago except when he was in that prison cell? or what? Like I just didn't have good points of reference after that.
Yeah, because they did keep going back and forth. Even when Historia was sitting there talking with them about the royalty bloodline of Mikasa, then we see her again, she's pregnant. Like it was kind of jarring to me. And that's why I didn't really like the last episode, is because they did that just continuously. And I didn't know what the heck was really going on. This episode kind of caught the trend, but I mean, that would be a critique that I would leave. Like, look, I need some kind of point of reference. Like, make the flashbacks black and white or something like that. Go, I don't know, make them great or something. It would help me out better, so I could know when I'm supposed to be focusing and honing in, because I feel like this is intentional at this point.
Yeah, I definitely want to reserve any I didn't like this episode the last, because it's difficult to tell what game they're playing with the final episode. You know, again, it comes across like a very advanced game of chess where maybe I should be quiet before they make their next move.
Yeah,
they're cooking us.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely a Queen's Gambit situation, but
Queen's Gambit, that was my show.
Yeah, but anyway, we're gone. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this review. If you want to see the full trailer, not trailer, man, thinking about Zack Snyder's Justice League. If you want to see the full reaction to this with us, definitely go into the description right below and go to our Twitch, and we will do it there. Peace, guys.
Peace.
Oh, follow Jarrell Alexander. Go to the description right below immediately. Do it. Follow Patreon. This man went full-time on YouTube. Do it.
Full-time YouTuber in the building. Full-time YouTuber in the building. Shout out.
We got Thor third royalty up here. Yeah, do it.